Parallel finance is a decentralized lending, staking, and borrowing protocol. Parallel is like a star in Polkadot ecosystem. The high TVL, user-friendly products, and competitively APY, they're very impressive. Today, we are honored to have the founder of Parallel with us. Together, let's dive deeper to unveil the story behind it. Before we begin, could you tell about your background, your story with blockchain and Polkadot?
Yeah, for sure. So I am a serial entrepreneur. Previously, I was the founder of AliSimba a couple of years ago while I was in China during high school. So it was a company that helped children to learn financial habits. And then after 2 years of working, it was sold to a large education chain store, and then I moved on for college. So during my time at Stanford University, I started a fund called 8 Decimal Capital, where we manage over $60 million to invest into early stage companies. And to date, we did over 30 to 40 portfolio investments, and super early investor to Solana, Polkadot, Chainlink, and many other projects. And then I think around 2020-ish, I spent some time with another portfolio company. One of them is called Trust Token, helping them with solidity developments and things like that. And eventually started parallel financing around 2021.
What prompted you to start Parallel in Polkadot?
Yeah, so I think that in a Polkadot ecosystem, it's very important. It's essentially essential to have a robust and easy to use DeFi super app where people can perform all kinds of financial applications within one place. So that is kind of the start of the parallel projects. And then higher yield, better liquidity, better security is like the key for everything.
Okay, so what's the future you envision with Parallel?
Yeah, so we wanted to support all assets in the Polkadot space and introduce with stablecoins, work with Circle, and so on and so forth. We wanted to introduce more projects developed on top of Parallel as well going forward. Being able to build more partnerships, grow the TVLs and things like that. One of them will be like to build or to successfully launch a good wallet products in the DOT ecosystem so that people can use to replace the existing like Polkadot.js extension.
Parallel's goal is to bring DeFi to 1 billion people. What do you think are the bottlenecks of the DeFi in the current market, which need to be overcome to achieve the goal?
I think that the biggest problem for DeFi, one is I think that obviously the user experience, the onboarding from fiat, it's not that clear. I think that the steps toward making yield is not simple enough for the normal consumer to understand. And I also think that essentially the type of the yield is not sustainable. Sometimes you can see that the yield is like 10% on the stable coins, and now is like 0 point something percentage, right? During the bear market, where US Treasury yield is actually 2 to 3% is higher. So sustainable yield is actually really important for the adoption of DeFi.
Parallel rank 11th of global chains TVL. What Parallel's financials TVL is made up of?
Yeah, so most of the assets are crowd loan and then staking and DOT. That's the main asset, DOT and KSM. And then we have other parachain assets, for example, our own native token. And also for our, I think that we also have like other parachains asset. Yeah.
Okay, because number is really amazing. How do you achieve that? What strategies you adopted?
Yeah, so I think that the strategy that we have is to work with both like partners and institutions. So institutions actually consist of half of the volumes, the other half from retail investors. I think the key for institutions is to build trust and build like security measurements for them. I think that for like normal users, we want to optimize for better user experience to make the process simple.
Okay, for my acknowledgement that around 2 million DOT were deposited to the staking protocol of Parallel.
Yes.
And what's the reason why people are choosing parallel instead of other protocols? What do you think?
Yeah, the TVL is good because I think that because we're one of the first one to launch a lot of the products.
Mm-hmm.
And also I think that we are some of the early projects that provide a lot of innovations. For example, liquid crowd loan is such a super popular product that people would love to use to get liquidity out of it. For our like money markets, we're also one of the first one to provide in the DOT ecosystem, so people can borrow and lend. For liquid staking, right, we have the instant unstake features and all that. So yeah, so I think innovations, better products, and also like better design and security is the key to win. Yeah.
Okay, I think the next question is kind of similar to the above ones, but I still want to ask, what's the favorite DeFi products that the community loves the most, and why is it?
I think for now is actually our liquid crowd loan the most, and then also our liquid staking. A lot of people doing the staking on our platform is super simple, and then we have a really good yield for people. And a lot of people actually use our money market as well, so that they can lend and borrow while they are doing staking. That we can provide them with good liquidity. And then one more thing is our like wallets. I think that people like our wallet extension. That's good, and yeah, I can see that definitely people are using it a lot.
I think the Parallels APY is very attractive because the supply APY of Kusama and DOT I saw on the protocol reaches around 36%, and the borrowing interest surpassed 40%. How do you drive up the borrowing to balancing everything? Because borrowing is very important. It ensures the supply APY or something.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know too much about like who is borrowing, but I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of people using it because you can see that the borrow rate is actually pretty high. Sometimes people paying like 30% for DOT, 20%, 30% for KSM. What I can see is that potentially the use cases are one, like farming. They borrow DOT to do some farming on other places, or some people borrow DOT for KSM to do crowd loan. And some people also like borrow DOT to do like trading pairs for .c .s. I think those are like some of the use cases for borrow. And obviously we want to increase that use cases, in more and more over time. So to make sure that there is enough like interest being paid. Yeah.
DeFi is for everyone, and simplifying the user experience is an essential aspect of giving access to billions around the world. What's your favorite products? What's your favorite products that you think is the easiest to use? And could you explain to the audience in plain language that what they are and why they are remarkable?
So liquidation-free asset is actually a very interesting design where we essentially cancel the option for people to liquidate your asset when you borrow against. So one of the first assets we support is the C-Dot and CKSM, which is our crowd loan derivative token. People can use it across a period of time and then receive the DOT over, let's say, 2-year period of time. The reason that we can do liquidation free is because we only limit the user to use C-Dot to borrow a DOT. And then that limit the price volatility risks. The only risk is interest rate risk, right? So then we assume that the sort of the total discount rate is the max interest rate of the lending markets. That means that we also eliminate the interest rate risk. That's why we can provide liquidation free options for user. I think that it helped with like finance of their position, especially people doing crowd loans. And also it helps with like AMM trading pairs and so on and so forth. So I think that it has a lot of use cases going forward when we support other stuff. Yeah.
Next, let's talk about the future plans. I see that Parallels is constantly launching new products and the marketing program. Could you tell us more about the future plans in terms of the product, in marketing, extra?
Yeah, so again, like the product wise, we want to support stable coins and more assets. We wanted to like push our wallets to the ecosystem adoption, and then we wanted to bring more ecosystem projects to build on top of Parallel. Those are some of the foundational works that we are thinking about. As long as like really like more educational contents, partnerships, growth, marketing exposure, so on and so forth. And obviously, like our token haven't been listed on exchanges. We're planning to do that. It should be happening soon. So provide liquidity, provide like more value toward the tokens through the DeFi money generating machine. And I think that eventually also like to become one of the largest Polkadot's most valuable pair chains is important for us.
Okay. As the session draws to the end, is there anything you would like to add? Perhaps some remarks to our audience regarding Parallel?
Yeah, sure. I think that follow us, and then we are in a journey of like making financial access to be universally reachable, right? And then make it easily accessed by anyone in the world, right? I think that follow us, and we are also hiring. So if you have good ideas and good skill sets, we'd love to work with you on that.
Okay, and thank you so much. Within the limited time, we have covered so much, and even during the market volatility, and the Parallels is still constantly working to build and provide the community with the best opportunities to win in the long run. And we will keep tuned to Parallel. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.